All right, happy Mother's Day for all, especially for all mothers. Today we'll take some time to commemorate what motherly love is. We'll be thinking about how our mother impacted our lives, how they formed and shaped part of us that is indispensable for who we are now. And I think it's important to do so. And part of the reason that we have Mother's Day is because we need time to think about our memories with our moms and bring out from our hearts back our appreciation for them. They gave birth to us and raised us with love, care, and anxious protection. And each one of us has a different story and memories, but we all have things or even something that we can honor our mothers for, whether it's small or big. As we honor our mothers today, I must talk about the notes that I have received from you, from the congregation of the last week. So many of you sent me their loving memories of their mothers. Some were just few sentences. One note I have, though, filled an entire page, and I'd like to share some of their memories with us. Let's hear what the motherly love is like and how beautiful it can be. So I'm going to read 3 from you, and this is from Patricia and her sister Kaye. I agree that mom was the greatest mom, grandparent, and great-grandparent that any family could wish to have. She loved babies, and I'm sure in the afterlife she will now be caring for babies and young children. She was always a behind-the-scenes worker, for example, in the kitchen, for any church, any family gathering. Mom always found time to help others. She was especially happy when she was with young children. She was a hard worker, considerate, passionate, and a very honest and upright person. We all loved you, Mom. That's really touching. This is from Margaret Helen. I have many memories of mother working in her garden with 7 children, and a husband to feed. She would grow vegetables, and there was an orchard with fruit trees. As well, she would plant bulbs, flowering plants, and shrubs. It was her happy place. She taught me the names of all the wonderful things in her garden, and it was from here I learned to love and appreciate being in nature. She was an accomplished musician, and she encouraged all her children to learn to play an instrument. Looking back now, I think of mother as being the quiet achiever who was always there for us in the background, keeping us safe, and by example, showing her strength and dedication to her family. It's another wonderful story. And the last note that I'm going to read to you, this is from Gerald, and I found this to be heartwarmingly touching. I was placed into foster care at 6 weeks old, and that's when I met the woman now I call Mom. She later adopted me and became my whole world. Mom has been a foster carer for many years and has cared for over 80 children in her lifetime. She's given me so many children love, stability, and a life that they may never have otherwise had. To me, a mother isn't just someone who gives birth. A mother is someone who chooses to love a child unconditionally, no matter their past, and who walks with them through whatever life brings. That's exactly who my mom is. And every moment I've had with her is a memory I cherish. These are so good, and I can just end the service. I have more notes I received. I wish I could read all of them, but it'll be too long. With that said, I put in the rest of them in the order of service, and all of them are wonderful and fun to read, so please do it. Maybe not now. So I think this is what we are trying to do, right? We set apart a time for thinking about appreciating and honoring our moms. That's what Mother's Day is for. However, we don't often get moments like this, partly because life can get busy. Many of us become mothers ourselves of our own child. We have a family to care for and other many responsibilities. Life can be busy. So we often forget about what our mothers did for us. Besides, it is sometimes, I think, overlooked, underrated how essential the motherly love is. We forget the fact that without mother's love, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be where we are now. We couldn't be who we are now. And we become forgetful of that because as we become adults and grow older, we may easily think that everything that we've achieved and everything that we are today is because of our own endeavor alone. It's interesting because once we develop our own sense of independence, we may think that it is all because of our own work. It's all about me. It's all about what I have done. And we can further note that we make the same with and about the Lord too. We can easily think that we have done everything on our own when it is not. But unfortunately, just because we can't see it with our eyes, we don't admit it. We don't appreciate about God, the Lord, and His work for us. But if we take time, we can see for ourselves who we would be or could be if our mother's love, their support, and their comfort were absent in the critical phases of our lives. Ungrateful part of us may say, oh, mom just did what she had to do as a mom. But as we grow older, as we become mothers ourselves, or not, or something else, or, we learn that it isn't that easy. We now can see that what they did was truly amazing. Being mother will always give her the task of sacrificing their own needs to have our needs met. And there's so much that a mother does behind the scenes, but it's just that we couldn't see that when we were too young or when we weren't mature to understand that. But in fact, mother's love goes all the way back to her conceiving a babe in her womb, nourishing, growing, and carrying the babe inside of her. Her dedicated love to her babe starts there, even far before, and without any knowledge of the babe. In a word, mothers give their lives to nurture, grow, and protect the baby or the child or children. And that's an amazing love. Some of us may feel that they didn't have all of that, but still there are things. There must be some wonderful things that our mothers did for us without our knowledge or behind the scenes. And it can also be more enlightening when we see what the scriptures say about mother's love. Interestingly, the maternal love is used in the word to describe the Lord's love for us. This morning's readings from the Gospel of Luke and several passages in Isaiah shine a light on that aspect. As we read, they beautifully highlight the tender and compassionate but powerful nature of the motherly love. For a few minutes, let's talk about the Lord's parenting us, not in a natural sense, but in a spiritual sense. It's more of the Lord's parenting and nourishing us at a deeper level for our spiritual growth. And there's this idea that the Lord cares for us by comforting us, patting on our backs, if you can imagine that. And He has compassion on us. And He provides protection against what is bad, what is false, what is harmful for our spirituality, just like a mother does for a child. And that's a beautiful comparison. Just to refresh our minds, I'm going to reread this morning's readings. There's 4 passages. The first one from Luke chapter 13. How often I wanted to gather you, the children of Jerusalem, together as a hen gathered her brood under her wings. As one whom his mother comforts, so I will comfort you. And you shall be comforted in Jerusalem. Can a woman forget her nursing child and not have compassion on the son of her womb? Surely they may forget, yet I will not forget you. That's a powerful statement. From Isaiah 44, thus says the Lord who made you and formed you from the womb, who will help you. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant. If we put those things together, we know that we have much to give thanks to the Lord for. And after all, it all comes down to the question of what our lives would be if we did not have or receive this kind of help and support, whether it is in our natural life from our mothers or in the realm of our spiritual life from the Lord. When we talk about the motherly love, we also must talk about the warmth of it. Love and warmth, those two things are not separable. And I think it's fair to say, though, that we don't always give enough credit to just how crucial and essential that warmth of love can be. And yet, if we had not experienced the warmth of our mother's love, could we have our stability that we have now as our ability to stay focused and get back on our feet after falling through? When we were little, we had in one way or another experienced some of that, help and support from our moms. And we can picture those moments when our moms reached out her hands as we stumbled on the street and we were crying, but she would help us out. And she would pat on our backs saying, "It's all right." And I don't think it was just once, probably dozens of times, if not hundreds of times. And there are other countless gestures of her love and its warmth. And I'll ask, without these experiences, could we have the stability and confidence that we now have? Could we really? And there's more. We can even consider the spiritual side of the motherly love. it's not just the natural warmth that our mothers pass on to us. When they patted our backs, it wasn't just their warm hands that was comforting us. Something happens, something is touched in much deeper side of our lives. It is spiritual warmth, if you will, that's felt and absorbed in us. We don't necessarily realize that when it happens, but those memories and these positive states of our minds are preserved in us as the seed of our better self, and it's going to emerge later. And we could also easily bring some of the important teachings of the new church on this subject about the remnants, right? But for now, for today, what could we do? Maybe we are now more inclined to buy some flowers on the way back home and drop them to our moms, and probably, I don't know, call them. Tell them, we love you, we love them, right? What we are left with this morning is our renewed recognition of the motherly love and how crucial and invaluable it is for us. And we are invited to think where we would be if the warmth of their love were absent in our lives. And we can also think that about the Lord. What if His love and His protection were absent in our lives? What we would be. Amen.